Hey guys, it's Katie. Welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be my first ever book review. It's something I thought about doing because one of my New Year's resolutions, check that video out down in the description box, was to read one book a month. So far, 1 month down, one book down. I'm really hoping I can continue this, so fingers crossed. But yeah, I just thought I would do like a little chit chat kind of summary after each month, after each book. I don't want to do like major spoilers or anything in case any of you want to read it. I just kind of want to tell you about it, you know, but depending on how sensitive you are to spoilers, you might not want to watch this at all. And I'll just tell you right off the bat that it was really good and I do recommend it. Now, for those of you who want to hear a little bit more, listen up. So Liane Moriarty is the same author as Big Little Lies, which is right up here. I also read that. I listened to it on audiobook, and then I also watched the show on HBO. That book was phenomenal. That show was brilliant as well. So I was really excited to read this. My mom told me that it was another good one. The description or the premise of the book is essentially, it tells you on the back. So I'll just read it. Imagine your husband wrote you a letter to be opened after his death. Imagine too that that letter contained his deepest, darkest secret. Something with the potential to destroy not only the life that you built together, but the lives of others as well. And then imagine that you stumble across that letter while your husband is still very much alive. ... And so that's exactly what happens. This story takes place in Australia. I'm pretty sure the author is from Australia. And it is about this woman who is happily married and she has 3 daughters and she lives in this little town, and it will describe kind of her little town and the different aspects and people of her town because they will become relevant characters as well. And her husband goes to America on business trips a lot. So one night while he's away, she is cleaning out the attic or something of that nature. She discovers this letter that falls out of a box, and it says, "To Cecilia, only to be opened in the event of my death." She thought it was really odd, but she didn't open it right away. And she kind of goes back and forth on what she thinks she should do. Should she open it? Should she not? Should she break his trust? Should she, you know, and then she ends up opening it. And it is a secret that is big and it is bad and it plagues her and she doesn't know what to do. And let's see, again, without giving away too much. So it's hard to say who exactly the main character is. I kind of only really want to tell you right now about Cecilia, the one who opens the letter, and her husband and her family. There are other people involved. Like, let's see, there's another character named Tess where she's married to her husband and they have a little boy. He's about 6, and she and her husband are in business. They own a business with Tess's first cousin, who's a female. She finds out, they tell her that they are in love, that they haven't had an affair, but that they're in love. So like that's something that happens. There's also another character who works at the elementary school where all these kids go and stuff happens with her. Like, it's really hard for me to like say much more without starting to reveal it. But I will say this, the part where Cecilia read the letter was probably like around this part of the book, and I still had like all of this to go. And I thought her reading the letter was almost going to be the punchline, you know, but I guess maybe that was foolish of me to think that, because it's not. You find out fairly early on what's in that letter, and then there's still so much more to go to find out what happens. The thing that I probably love the most about this, well, first of all, it had short chapters, which sounds dramatic, but short chapters really work for me because I'm a very distracted human, and it just helps me to know that I can read like, oh, just 1 or 2 pages more and I've gotten through another chapter. I don't know if that makes sense. It just helps me kind of breeze through it, knowing I can pick it up, read 2 pages, put it down, come back later. I know you can do that even without stopping at a chapter, but just mentally that helps me. I really loved the ending of this book. I loved the way that they saw everything through. I do not do well with books that like don't give you any closure, that leave you to believe or like wonder what happened. That's not really my scene. That's not my jive. I don't like not having closure. I get it. Sometimes they do that on purpose just to test your mind, and that's fine, but I just much prefer a book that gives you a solid answer. This gives you a solid answer. It also even goes beyond that and gives you kind of some more in depth about the characters after. And so I don't know if I said too much or too little. Again, I don't want this to be a full synopsis. I don't want to spoil this. All I can say is if you like kind of mystery, it's not even a mystery, but kind of, it's really just like thrilling. It's definitely like an adult book, lots of adult themes happening, really interesting characters, really well written, and a great solid ending. I would highly recommend this. I want to read, she has like 1 or 2 other books that have caught my interest, and now that I know that I've read 2 books that have been rock solid, I'm super interested to read more. So I hope you all enjoyed this book review. I plan to do more. In theory, I should do 11 more for the 11 remaining months of the year. If you have any book recommendations or further questions about this book, go ahead and leave them down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, because it would make my day. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Love you. Bye.